Live on a sunny and still cool Thursday morning in Northeast Ohio. Welcome, everybody, into the Bullpen. I'm Adam the Bull. He's Dustin Fox. And we are brought to you, as always, by Bet Rivers. And if you're looking for a betting angle, check out the Top Picks news feed in your Bet Rivers app. The Bet Rivers banner news feed is filled with picks from Bet Rivers network personalities and handicappers to give you expert insights. Tap the Top Picks icon in your Bet Rivers app to get the latest tips. Coming up on the latest edition of this podcast, we will talk about the Browns and the upcoming schedule release. And the Guardians get off the schneid with a victory. Dustin, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing very well, man. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. Game day. It's game day. Yes, it is. You got the Cavs hat on, which is appropriate because that's the headline of the day. By the way,
I'm heading to Detroit today.
Yeah, I know. That's exciting. You guys got good seats?
I have no idea. We're going with the Cavs.
What do you mean you're going with the Cavs?
Like the team? Like not the players, but like the organization reached out because we're season ticket holders, and our rep reached out to us and asked us to go on this little day trip.
Yeah.
Where they have like a charter bus for some season ticket holders, and so we're gonna go up there. We like a dinner happy hour before the game in downtown Detroit, and then go to the game, come back at like 1 a.m.
Excuse me, very hoity-toity.
I mean, I'm all about it. Free is for me. Although it's not really free. I mean, season tickets are very expensive. So
yeah. The tickets are free as part of the season tickets for the tickets for the game tonight.
This thing tonight is free for us.
Wow, that is an awesome deal.
We'll take it.
Nice. All right. So the Pistons, as you see, are favored by 3.5 points in tonight's game after the disappointing performance by the Cavaliers in Game 1. The Cavs, though. You know, if you're honest about it, if the Cavs came home with a split, you would have signed for it, even with the disappointment of Game 1. I picked the other day. I said they would lose Game 1 and then win 4 of the next 5. So it starts with tonight. Obviously, it's not a must-win, but it feels pretty big for the Cavs to try to pull the slight upset tonight. How are you feeling this morning leading up to Game 2 tonight?
I feel very good about tonight's game.
Yeah.
Part of the reason is I felt good ever since I knew I was going to this game. I'm like, you know what?
Right.
We found out like yesterday morning early that we're going. I'm like, you know what? They're gonna get Game 2. Because last year, Sarah and I went up to Detroit for a Guardians playoff game in Detroit.
Right. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
We brought home the dub there.
Okay.
So I'm thinking we're just kind of like a good luck charm for games in Detroit with Cleveland teams. So or maybe it's just me going to Michigan and we just kind of own Michigan.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
You won 2 games there, correct?
I won 1 there. Yeah. I won 1.
Oh, yeah.
Lost 1.
That's right. That's right.
Sore subject.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the 100th game.
Yeah. Ooh.
But I'm not bitter about
it. Not at all. Not at all. But all right, the trend recently has been good, obviously.
Yes.
So let's hope that continues. The game is scheduled for 7 o'clock. It'll probably start 7:10, 7:15.
Yep.
It's on Prime tonight. The Saturday game is on NBC. It will be on Channel 3 locally in addition to Peacock. And the Monday game at 8 o'clock. And then next Wednesday, if better be necessary, because it only would not be necessary if the Cavs got swept. So that's not going to happen. So I think heading into tonight's game, Dustin, to me, it's all about Donovan Mitchell. He's been off. He and James Harden have not played well the last 3 games, but especially Donovan Mitchell, there have been times in the last 3 games where it feels like not only has he not played well, but he's just kind of disappeared from the game. And we're used to him being such a dominant force. His usage rate down the stretch was 4th best on the team in the fourth quarter in Game 1. And you know, I don't like to hear you got a sign behind you there, in fact, that says rub some dirt on it.
Yes.
And like I get it. Donovan Mitchell may not be 100% healthy, but he's a superstar. He's been a superstar, but he hasn't played like it in this postseason, especially the last 3 games. And so easy for me to say, because I'm not the talented Donovan Mitchell is, but he's got to rub some dirt on it and find himself. Because if the Cavs are going to win, you know, they were able to get by Toronto without Donovan Mitchell being Donovan Mitchell. They're not going to get by Detroit unless Donovan Mitchell becomes Donovan Mitchell again. When this series first started, you and I were talking about it, and you said you thought they had 2 of the 3 best players.
Yes.
Well, I mean, maybe I think you said they had the top two.
I think at all times we'll have. Well, I mean, Cade's better than James.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah.
In terms of like overall, we've got the 2 best players. They don't have 2 better players.
Right. True. But right now, Cade Cunningham's playing better basketball than either of our 2 superstars, and that's got to change. Or at the very least, one of them's got to match what he's doing as an overall player. Now, he didn't shoot great, but still, his impact on the game was much bigger, obviously, than the 2 best players on the Cavs. That's got to change starting tonight if the Cavs are going to win, in my opinion.
Totally agree. Donovan Mitchell had 2 free throw attempts in game 1. And obviously he complained about it after the game. I get it. Like there's certain frustration that comes from that. But the dude barely went to the basket.
Yeah.
You know, that's what changed, I think, for Donovan was like the Detroit made it a little uncomfortable for him. They made him go sideways in terms of like on the perimeter. He had to settle for mid-range jump shots, 3-pointers, instead of being able to go downhill. Tonight, I think from the jump, Adam, Donovan Mitchell needs to be going downhill from the time he touches the first ball in the first quarter and keep going to the bucket and make them foul you. Make them foul you hard and get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Like that's what has to happen, because if his shots are not falling, then he's not going to score. And like, for instance, like Cade Cunningham can have an off night, but he's going to shoot 20 free throws.
Right.
And he's going to score. So, like, he's going to end up with 25 points every single night, really, no matter what. We are going to need that from Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, by the way, who is one of the all-time leading free throw shooters in NBA history.
Yeah.
Like, we need him to get to the line as well. So, I think that he was so frustrated, Donovan was in game 1. And honestly, like, it's kind of funny. Here's a tennis reference for you. Sometimes I forget to come to the net, Adam, when I'm playing singles.
Okay.
In terms of like attacking and putting pressure on my opponent.
Yeah.
And then sometimes after a match, I'm like, I came to the net like 2 times.
What
and I
was
lost.
doing? Yeah.
And I lost. I'm like, what am I doing? That's my strength.
Yeah.
Well, Donovan Mitchell needs to come to the net in terms of going to the bucket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just do what you do best, which is attack the rim and do it early. And when you do it early, I think you set the tone for the game.
And then listen, eventually he'll get in some rhythm with his threes, but I think it starts with him taking the ball to the basket. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, he got off to a good start in game 1. He had 14 points early, and then he just disappeared the rest of the game. We can't have that. Like, Donovan was offensively was great in the first quarter, and James Harden offensively was great in the fourth quarter. And in the other 3 quarters, those 2 guys really did nothing. And that's where the Pistons made their hay. And then when they had to make that big comeback because they were down big again early, they just ran out of gas in those last 5 minutes. And you can't in the playoffs when every possession has so much more intensity than in the regular season, you can't keep coming back from double digits every game. It's just it wipes you out. Guys are tired, and they're pushing through it and they're rubbing some dirt on it, but they got to do it even more. They got to, and if you keep falling behind by double digits in the first half, it's hard to win consistently there. You see the Pistons now minus 210 to win.
To your point, about, hey, like falling behind.
Yeah.
Bull, if we fall behind 0-2 in this series, it's not over.
Right.
But I'm not entirely confident that this team has the mental fortitude to overcome a 2-love deficit. I mean, I don't know if they can do it.
Well, you got to win 4 of the next 5, which is always hard to do. And
but I mean, tonight is kind of a must-win, in my opinion. I mean, you come back home, you get home court back to your side, and then you take care of business. You win the next 2 games. It's 3-1. That's what we need. Yeah. That's the recipe.
There's going to be a ton of confidence in from the within the group and from the fans. Whether that matters or not, who knows? But
this thing has to come back to Cleveland for a Game 6 closeout. Or I'll take a Game 5 in Detroit too if you want to. But I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, at least have the chance to close this thing out in Game 6.
Right. Well, they're 0-4 on the road so far this postseason, 4-0 at home. Obviously, they're going to have to win at least one road game if they want to win this series because the Pistons have home court advantage. So let's see what they can do tonight.
Are you concerned about Sam Merrill's health tonight?
I am. Yeah, I mean, they said it was a hamstring, right? I mean, you know about hamstrings very well, and those can be tricky. I think it's going to be hard for him to play. I know you said, half jokingly, what is he? He's just standing there shooting.
Just stand out there and be able to knock down threes in the corner. Like, how much do you need a hamstring for that? Well, you got to play a little defense.
Yeah.
You got to be able to get up and down the court. So those things are important.
Yeah.
And if Sam Merrill can't play, like, who's going to step up with the outside shooting? Is it going to be Tyson? Are we going to get some more threes from Ellis? Strus obviously, was pretty solid in game 1 and was good in game 7. But, like, I don't know. We're going to have some outside shooting, especially if Donovan and James are going to be aggressive in attacking the basket tonight. So they're going to create, double teams, and there's going to be open guys on the outside and on the perimeter that have to knock down some shots.
Sam Merrill listed as questionable for tonight's game with the hamstring. So obviously
Donovan Mitchell might have to play like 46 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I didn't like that he was on the bench as long as he was in the fourth quarter, and it just seemed he was out of the rhythm of the game. So maybe, we'll see. It'd be interesting to see what they do in the starting lineup if they keep Dean Wade there, who played okay defensively, but obviously is limited offensively. Maybe Jalen Tyson gets in the starting lineup. Maybe they go back to Sam Merrill to Max Strus in the starting lineup, who obviously was their best player in game 1. Played like an animal. They need some of these other guys to play with the intensity that Dennis Schroeder and Max Strus play with, because I feel like that was missing from some of their stars. There's something off. It feels like there's something off with Donovan right now. I feel like he's missing his swagger a little bit.
I agree.
Right? Like, it's just something off with him.
I think there's something going on, like, physically. But he'll never say it, and we'll probably never know.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. At this time of the year, everybody's banged up, and, obviously some people worse than others, but, the stars got to push through it. Again, I understand it's easier for me to say sitting on my ass, but it's just the way it is. And the Cavs can't forget the series, can't win anything. Forget winning a championship. I mean, if Donovan Mitchell doesn't get his swagger back, that sounds like a movie.
Well, it was Stella gets her groove back, right?
Right. We need Donovan to get his groove back, because it's missing. It doesn't feel like it. Usually when I watch Donovan play, I feel like I'm watching a superstar. It doesn't feel that way his last few games. I don't know if the fans feel that way. Let's see what the folks have to say here. Let's see. We got. Let's get past that. Okay. Mark says, Cavs win tonight if they don't turn the ball over more than 13 times if they make their foul shots. Yeah, but they've been turning the ball over a ton. You're right if that happens. Jim from IT, if the Cavs play with more energy, I feel confident. Mr. Chairman of the board, let's see. No. Cavs, if you move the ball around, you'll make the defense move as well. ISO ball draws defenders all around you. There has been a lot of ISO ball, especially with Harden lately. Chairman of the board, good morning, Bull and Fox with the Bull and Fox emojis.
Good morning, Chairman of the board.
Good morning. Big Dog, Mitchell is there every blue moon. Detroit is too good with that coach, JB. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see about
that. James Harden needs to cut down the turnovers. Yes, indeed. Mitchell and Harden just shoot until they miss. That's terrible. JB is a better coach. Let's get past game 1 before we decide who the better coach is. The NBA needs to end their relationship with Amazon, especially with the discount rate TV play-by-play guys. You saw what happened last year when they were down 0-2. Let's go Cavs. Brown 7350 says there's absolutely zero half-court offense. Big Dog, they're going to lose tonight to Detroit and Motor City. I watched the game. Cleveland looked out of sync. Mitchell looked like and played like Deshaun Watson. That's rough.
That is very rough.
Raul Havana, is Ron Harper or Caitlin Clark available? We could use the shooting. Neither are available. Mark F. Cavs can't be afraid of Detroit's PA announcer saying Detroit basketball. I like their PA announcer. He's good.
I can't wait to go to this arena. I've never been to the new Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah, that should be cool. Russ Clark, these are facts. We are horrible shooting team right now. We are mentally and physically weak. Every player is wildly inconsistent. I don't know if those are facts, but there is some truth there. Mr. Chairman of the board, Donovan Mitchell seems to be lacking confidence in himself. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's why his swagger feels gone. Big Dog, every time he plays in the playoffs, Mitchell, he choked. He's a choker. Mitchell and Harden. Oh, yeah. Okay. He got the ball in his hand all day, just doing the same stuff. Mark says he's playing like a spider with 7 legs. Creative Juice, let's talk about what everyone's wondering. What's the cheapest gas? Man, gas is crazy right now.
Dude, it's like over $100 some bucks to fill up my car.
I know. It is nuts. We got to fix this. But, all right, another story for another day. All right, so hopefully the Cavs will take care of business tonight. Join me live immediately following the game here in the bullpen, probably 9:45-ish, unless the game goes into overtime. All right, let's excuse me.
Let's talk about how Bull's not going to die right now.
Yeah, that would not be good. I, didn't have weight loss surgery to die from coughing.
Guardians win, but they do not hit the over as you predicted.
I know. I had the win in the over, and it didn't happen. Bad job out of me. 3-1 is the final. Joey Cantillo did pitch well. 5 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 3 walks, only 1 strikeout, which was odd. And they took him out after 70 pitches. But bullpen did a good job. Cole Reagans for the Royals left the game with an injury. Another good pitcher on one of our division rivals getting hurt. The big hit was the Chase DeLauder double in the 5th inning that gave the Guardians a 2-1 lead. David Fry knocked in a run in the 8th to tack on, and it was good to see Cade Smith. I know he gave up a hit in the 9th, but he looked nasty. Struck out the side, got all 3 outs via strikeout. Hunter Gaddis got a couple outs. Zabrowski pitched well, so it's good to see the meat of the bullpen, Zabrowski, Gaddis, and Cade Smith. 3 innings, 3 base runners, 5 Ks, and no runs. They were pretty lights out yesterday, so the Guardians get back over 500. I'm sorry, back to 500 at 19-19. Division very close. Again, nobody playing particularly well in the division except for the Royals before last night had been playing well. And the White Sox are okay. But the division's really bad. It's wide open. They will conclude the series today against the Royals at 2:10. Slade Ciccone, who's been absolutely awful, will pitch for the Guardians today against Seth Lugo, who's been great. Man, since he went to the Royals from the Padres, I think it was, after 1 year there, he's been tremendous. So Royals have the pitching advantage tonight. I don't like the Guardians in the game tonight, unfortunately. This afternoon, I would either stay away or bet the Royals. But the Guardians will come home, long homestand following this game with the Royals. They're off tomorrow. They play the Twins over the weekend, the Angels, and the Reds next week. So 9 games in 10 days starting Friday against 3 teams that are not good. So it's I shouldn't say that. The Reds are fine, although they're not playing well now. They just lost. Have you seen what happened to the Reds at Wrigley Field the last 3 nights?
Well, they went to extra innings the other night. I know that. But yeah. What happened?
So, okay, they're playing a 4-game series. The final game of that series is today. The first game of the series, Reds had a 3-0 lead. Cubs tied it. Reds took a 4-3 lead in the 8th. In the bottom of the 9th, the Cubs got a triple, a sac fly, and then a walk-off homer to win it. So the Reds blew it in the 9th. Cubs win 5-4. Second game of the series, 2 nights ago, Reds are up 2-0. Cubs score 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th to tie it, and then they win it in the 10th. Another walk-off 2 nights in a row. And then last night was the craziest of the bunch. Cubs had the Cubs had a 4-1 lead early. It's 4-2 Cubs going to the 9th. The Reds score 4 in the top of the 9th to take a 6-4 lead. The Cubs get 2 in the bottom of the 9th to tie it on a 2-run homer by Pete Crow Armstrong. And then the Cubs win it in the bottom of the 10th on a bases-loaded walk. So 3 straight games that they had the lead in the 9th inning, and lost on a walk-off for the Reds. I mean, what are the odds of that? That's just crazy.
Mean, pretty slim to none, I'd say.
So they'll play the final game of that series. So before the series, the Reds had been playing pretty well. But it's a good homestand for the Guardians, so hopefully they can take advantage of it. Finally, wanted to hit on the Browns. We don't know exactly when the schedule release is going to be. It's either going to be next week or the week after. If you look at the Browns' opponents, let's try to do a little Karnak here and predict who we think the Browns will play on opening day. So do you think the Browns will open at home or on the road? What's your guess? Gut feeling.
Gut feeling is home.
Okay, so let me give you their 8 home opponents. You tell me who you'd like to see them open against and who you think they're going to open against. Obviously, you got the 3 division teams, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. Their 5 non-divisional home games are against the Texans, the Colts, the Kevin Stefanski-led Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, give me Falcons week 1.
That's who you want? Or do you think that's going to happen?
No. I think it'll be a divisional opponent.
Okay. I think the Browns are going to open against the Ravens at home.
I was going to say the Ravens.
Okay. Great minds think alike.
I feel like they have not opened against the Ravens in the last 20 years.
I don't know. I don't know when the last time was, but it feels like it's always the Bengals or the Steelers when they play in the division to start the year. I don't know when the last time they played against the Ravens. Maybe it was 3 years ago. No, it wasn't 3 years ago. I don't know. They also play the Buccaneers on the road this year. So you got Browns
that
versus
game doesn't
Baker.
have as much meaning anymore, though.
Not at this point. I agree with you. The Stefanski matchup is definitely the bigger one. I wonder if the Browns play the Jets and the Giants on the road. I wonder if they put the schedule where they play the Jets and Giants back-to-back weeks, and if so, would the Browns stay in New Jersey, New York? What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
I wonder if teams do that ever, or if they go out to L.A. or I don't know how often that happens, but it could happen this year potentially. You trying to find out the last time they played the Ravens week 1?
Yeah, I can't see.
All right. Yeah, I don't know, but it feels like it's been a while. It's certainly been longer than the Bengals or the Steelers, so we'll see. One of our
they did open at Baltimore in 2020.
Okay, so it hasn't been that long. Yeah, that was a weird one though because it was COVID. No fans at the game.
ChatGPT said they opened with the Ravens in 2024, but that is not the case. That's wrong. They opened against the Cowboys in 2024.
Right.
See, ChatGPT.
Yeah, right. It's wrong.
Creative Juice.
Creative Juice says, will the Browns play a tribute video for Kevin Stefanski?
No.
Why would you do that? Do you do that in football?
A tribute video for a coach?
Yeah, no, just in general. That's like a basketball thing.
Maybe if you're Peyton Manning and you're going back to Indy for the first time.
Yeah. All right. So here's
like a legend.
So the Browns opened last year at home against the Bengals. In 24, it was home against Dallas, as you said. 23 was the Panthers. No, 23 is the Bengals. It was 22 was the Panthers. 23 again was so they've always opened at home against the Bengals 2 of the last 3 years. 22 was at Carolina. That was the last time they opened on the road against Baker. 21 was at Kansas City. That didn't stand out. I didn't remember that. 2020 was at Baltimore. So they actually haven't opened against the Steelers even longer than Baltimore.
But they opened against the Steelers in 17 and 18.
Okay.
Back to back. 2019,
they opened at home against the Titans. I remember you and I being at a bar talking about that game, and we
lost by 30.
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback in that game? Was that Fitzpatrick? No, Marcus Mariota.
Was it?
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
threw for 248, 3 touchdown passes.
Browns got boat raced.
A.J. Brown had 100 yards receiving before he was anything.
Yeah.
Man, throwback right there.
Yeah. You said 2018 and 2017 was the Steelers?
Yep.
Were they both at home?
Yeah.
So they opened at home against the Steelers 2 years in a row. So they haven't opened at home against the Ravens. They've opened at the Ravens the COVID year. 2016 at Philly. Go back a few more years. 2015 at the Jets. 2014 at Pittsburgh. 2013 Miami at home. 2012 Philly at home. So they've opened twice against Philly.
Yeah, 2011 home against Cincy.
Okay, so. 2010 at Tampa. So they haven't opened at home against the Ravens in a long time. 2009 Minnesota. 2008 Dallas. That's funny that they've only played the Ravens 2007, again the Steelers. They've only played one opening day against the Ravens in the last 20 years, and that was on the road. 2006 New Orleans at home. 2005 Cincinnati at home.
2004 Baltimore at home.
There you go. That was the last time. So it seems like that would make sense, especially because they've since that home game against the Ravens, they've only opened against them once. 2003 Indianapolis.
Who was the quarterback in 2004 for Baltimore?
Don't Baltimore. Look. 2004 for Baltimore was
former first-round pick. Didn't have much of an NFL career. Kyle Bowler.
Oh, God, I would have never thought of Kyle Bowler.
And the quarterback for the Browns was Jeff Garcia.
Oh, I swear I was going to say Jeff Garcia. Now, you can't believe that. People are not going to believe that, but I really was thinking Jeff Garcia. My first thought was Trent Dilfer, and then I was like, no, Jeff Garcia, but I didn't say it. I didn't have the guts there to say it out loud. It's a terrible job. Now I'll never get full credit for it. Okay, well, there you go. So we'll find out here in the next couple of weeks. That's the next thing on the calendar. That's really the last thing on the calendar until training camp. I mean, I know you got rookie mini camp coming next week, but until training camp starts in late July, you really have nothing football-wise except for the schedule release, unless there's some, news you don't want to hear about or a transaction. One other thing I wanted to hit on the Browns before we move on. There's this quarterback. I got to look up his name now. I think I'd have this ready. Brendan Sorsby, Dustin.
What about him?
Apparently, he's coming out in the supplemental draft. Is he a legitimate, what's his deal? Why is he in the supplemental draft? I know there was some problems off the field. Is he a first-round pick guy or no?
I mean, I think that had he played this year, he had a chance to be the top quarterback or one of the top quarterbacks in.
So he didn't play at all. I don't know anything about this.
No,
guy.
He played for Cincinnati this past year.
Oh, okay.
He just transferred, got this big contract from NIL from Texas Tech.
Okay.
So he transfers to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And then this gambling scandal comes out where.
Oh, that's right. That's the guy. Okay.
He was betting on baseball pitches. It was nothing crazy like that, but I guess they did find that when he was at Indiana as a backup quarterback, I think he may have bet on a couple Indiana games.
Ooh,
nothing big. It wasn't like it was inside information. It was just dumb.
Yeah.
Just be, a kid being a dumb kid.
Yeah.
And so then he went to gambling rehab.
Yeah.
Recently, I think he was going to try to fight to get his eligibility back from the NCAA. Anyway, doesn't matter. So it sounds like he's going to enter the supplemental draft.
Right.
I mean, obviously the Browns could be in the mix. They remember the last quarterback they took in the supplemental draft was Bernie Kosar.
Yes. And the last player they took in the draft was Josh Gordon in the supplemental draft.
That's right.
So that'll be interesting, something to keep an eye on. When is the supplemental draft?
Got to be soon, right? Todd McShay says that Sorsby has first-round talent with an ideal quarterback profile. He thinks that he mentions 3 teams that could take this quarterback in the draft. Browns are one of them, then the Dolphins and Jets. He said on his podcast.
It looks like this. Let's see. When is the supplemental draft? Is I think he's got to apply for the supplemental draft. Did he officially apply for it? Do you know? He's got to apply for it by June 30th. The supplemental draft's in July.
Okay.
It must be right before training camp begins. So it just be something to keep an eye on. as the offseason goes along. All right, thanks everybody for joining us. I'll be on live after the game tonight. I'll be on UCSS the next 2 days. We'll be back next week. Thanks to Drew and Alex for producing today. We'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the bullpen with Bull and Fox, brought to you by Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.
Go Cavs.
Go Cavs.